Everybody, Rob Orgel with Silencer Syndicate. We're here at the Genesis booth at East Valley Tactical, and they've got this cool little 12-gauge shotgun that I think really stirred up a lot of attention some time ago. Tell us about it.
Yeah, this is new for 2024. We launched this at SHOT Show to highlight the next evolution of what a shotgun can be, and this really broke some molds. First is overall length, 26 inches. Second thing would be the barrel length being 5 inches, but the best part of the whole thing is it was intentionally designed to be suppressed. And Huxwrx was the suppressor company that came to the table with a professional grade suppressor. It's titanium printed, it's a flow-through design, it's serviceable, which it has to be for 12 gauge. But the can, when you take it off of the gun, it's less than a pound because it's made of titanium. Things that surprised us was not a lot of spark at night. So it's just got to be something to do with, you know, how shotgun interacts versus a rifle round with titanium. So spark is minimal. Obviously the weight savings of it. The other thing is that the suppressor wasn't designed for sound suppression. It was for reduction of pressure. So not a lot of people have thought about suppressors doing that, but for us as a professional gun, this was designed for breaching. And so you're standing against a wall or you're in some type of enclosure, or if you're a shooter and you go and you have overhangs at the ranges, you know, whether they're hardened structures or you go to an indoor range and you have that rebound of the sound coming back against you, it's an amplifier. Well, shotguns have a lot of amplification when you're shooting them that close or in those areas. This reduces that pressure by 60%. So it makes it very pleasant to shoot. Plus it helps reduce the recoil a little bit. And overall just made this the Gen-12 ultimate shotgun right there.
Well, so to speak to unlocking some codes, which is what you said, and I think that's perfect, is, you know, everybody wants to breach your shotgun. You know, do you remember the MCS?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got one of them. Like, they're cool collectors, but in the end, like, we put it to that shortest configuration.
Yeah.
We want to breach doors and then come in and handle business, but that's a pump. And then, you know, the evolution of the Benellis making their way to the battlefield, and then, okay, Benelli, we need to cycle out lethals to non-lethals, non-lethals back to lethals as we breach a door. And they give us the M3 convertible, which is like, we don't want to pump and a semi. Finally, the M4 came around, and that started giving us options, but it's a monster, that it's not light.
No.
So carrying that as just a breaching tool kind of sucks.
Yep.
So having a solution that, one, gives you semi-automatic, and I'm assuming that you're cycling, you know, I see a lot of birdshot on the ground. I'm assuming that you're also cycling combat loads.
Yes.
No problem. And you mentioned reduction in flash. So are you referring to combat loads too?
Yeah. So the rounds that we specifically use for the testing of that were law enforcement rounds from Federal. So they're law enforcement, buckshot, and also a low recoil slug. Okay. And that's what we used just to get simple recordings at nighttime, watch it under night vision, do it compared to rifles, just see what different rounds would happen, but totally mitigated a lot of it. And to your comments about shotguns in themselves, the desire for a reliable performing mag-fed shotgun is absolutely essential to the future of a shotgun being implemented in combat roles, or even being more adopted as a home defense tool. Thank you. And the reason for that is because when people are going to reload, they're able to do that versus having to roll a gun over and have to load in or manage that ammo or manage ammo at any way. With a legacy system, it takes a high level of proficiency, coordination, and if you're in an unimproved environment, whether it's rain, snow, or you're just wearing gloves, that makes that all that much harder, where you can pull this out of your back pocket, dump it to the ground, and when you go to your gun, it's not 1, it's 10, 5 or 15, whatever your magazine
100%.
is.
I mean, and then to give us a short package with a 10-round capacity, I mean, that's tough. Then add reliability and combat loads and everything in between to include birdshot, because birdshot's very similar to the non-lethal. Who cares about non-lethal, Rob? Well, when you breach a door, you have to use non-lethal load so it doesn't hurt somebody behind the door.
Yep.
But then you have to immediately go into a lethal load because the guy behind the door might hold a gun.
Yep.
You know, a lot of problems that many people don't know exist, don't have experience running a shotgun on the battlefield. There's a lot of problems. And as you said, unlock some codes. This really seems to offer that. Now, having shot this thing, to be honest, I wasn't excited to shoot it because I know what 12 gauge feels like. It doesn't feel that great. Full auto, it's like, okay, I'll do it for the YouTube. But in the end, it was incredibly soft shooting. I get the suppressors mitigating some of that, and gosh, I don't think I'd want to shoot those out the silencer because getting your
Oh
hands
no!
so close to
Now
that
that you said
muzzle,
it, I'm going to make you do it. We got a full auto 10-inch over there. So I'll tell you to your point. We recently did a 9,000 round burn down on one gun, and I did 50% of those rounds.
I'm
And
sorry. Well, you
that-
look like you could take it well.
No. I'm still human, so but it may look like Goliath, but it actually at the end of the 3 days, shoulder mobility was the same. I didn't have any bruising, and honestly, I was even surprised. And I shoot demos all year long, and I shoot this gun a lot. But even with this little tiny stock and just this little pad from Kickies, this is so comfortable, like you said. It takes somebody who you might want to do 50 rounds of shotgun on a range day. You'll go shoot 250 rounds and just have fun. And it also opens it up for everybody. I mean, we have kids shoot these guns. Women who sometimes shy away from shotguns because of the recoil. I've seen that in some instruction that I've done. They'll shoot our gun and they'll instantly be like, oh, I'll shoot another mag. I'll shoot another mag. And they're okay getting behind the gun for a longer period of time, which is what we want in a system where you can grab it with confidence to know that, one, it's going to shoot, but that you enjoy shooting it too. So then you get better and your proficiency increases.
Yeah, and to speak to this footprint, I mean, I remember when they released this, and Troy did a version and somebody else did a version for AR-15s, and the safety manipulation became a little bit difficult, and the recoil started to kind of suck because an AR-15 doesn't kick that much, but with a stock like that, the footprint's just so small, it was unpleasant. And so when I saw this design, it's like, it's odd that, well, it's a breacher. Suck it up, buttercup. But after shooting, it's like, no, it actually is very soft. This is a cool system, and I'm intrigued to learn much more.
Awesome.
So I get the price point, which is, by the way, kind of expensive. What's the price point?
Yeah, so as you see it, it comes with a 2-stamp solution, 5-inch barrel, the suppressor, obviously optic accessories are gone. You get the compact stock. This compact stock is our stock. It had to be a certain way because 12 gauge, just unfortunately, no other PDW style stock would hold up to it. So we have a super robust system here. The rods are tool steel, so you can butt stroke somebody, fall on it with confidence. You don't have to worry about these getting bent and then not having a functioning stock anymore. It locks in the closed and the open. It uses the AR controls, AR triggers, AR safety, so you have the availability of that in the market. Plus, the grips are the same too, so if you want a different grip, you can swap that out. So if we didn't sell it with the suppressor, but we only sell the 5-inch with the suppressor, and that is due to the overpressure that you shoot this without a suppressor,
You'd be sad.
you would be or dumb because the pressure is insane. Just several rounds of shooting it unsuppressed, I was like, I don't want to do that anymore.
Yeah.
And if you're indoors or any type of enclosure, highly don't recommend it. Put the can on it, you're like, oh man, I'll shoot this all day long. So comes with the suppressor, the base gun by itself with the PDS stock here, it's going to be around $3,500. So with the suppressor, you're right at $49.99.
Yeah, I mean, it's expensive, but for all the things it's unlocking, I can appreciate why when you hear something go bump in the night rather than the old 870,
yeah,
I could see the massive benefits of having something so compact and not so 18.5-inch unwieldy. Really, really cool design. I'm also sure you're getting a wider spread pattern, which is a wonderful thing inside of houses.
Actually, no.
Tell me more.
So there's two things I'd like to touch on, which is, though we did this to be a breaching tool, the reason we're selling it as a stockable system for the commercial market is, one, it's fun to shoot, all the things that we've already covered. But when I take this gun and I zero it at 50 yards with a slug, okay, and then I'll take the gun and I'll go to 5 yards and I will aim at the head to do a head box shot. My dot goes to the same spot on my target as my AR-15. So what I just did is
sight over bore.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I have a 50-yard zero, but now when the buzzer goes off or you got to have a quick reaction and you draw that system up, your instinctual holdover and point of aim is unchanged with our platform to what you're used to with your AR-15. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, but to speak to the spread patterns.
Well, then that's the second part, right?
Yeah.
So you have the ability to maintain your same sight picture. The pattern on this, we've compared it to a Remington 870, and we'll have a video drop pretty soon on that. This is the same. Shooting the same ammo.
Because you have an internal choke?
Nope, there's no choke. Smooth bore to smooth bore. It is exactly the same spread within a 1/4 to 1/8 of an inch spread pattern. I'll call that nominal difference.
Using a specific type of ammunition.
So I used, in that test, I did Federal flight control ammo, and it was the same on the 25 or on this and the 18 out to 25 yards. I did 5, 10, 15, and 25, and the spread was the same.
Wad's doing a lot of that work.
It is, but inherently, this you would think that this would not.
Totally.
The spread would
It
be
would be
insane.
uncontrollable, people would suggest, but with the right ammunition, you're saying you can get the same
So
results.
with the 5-inch, the suppressor, and like for example, Winchester Greenhold, those will have a 5-inch spread at 5 yards. But that was also what I was getting with the 18 or 10. So it's the same.
Interesting.
But this honestly just consistently gives us the same as the 18-inch barrel.
Very interesting.
So
and very soft to shoot.
Yep. And then, you know, if you have a specific ammo, whether it's like Fiocchi has some really good defense rounds that pattern extremely well. In fact, their buckshot is near flight control patterning, and it's not flight control. So that one has got really good performance. Some of their birdshot we don't like because it's just not designed to be in a semi-auto gun.
Yeah. Light powdered.
Yeah, but Hornady's got some good rounds, you know, critical defense. They got some tap rounds, you know, for the law enforcement guys. But we try to shoot as much as we can, and this has not disappointed. We even did slugs out to distance.
That makes sense. Yeah, you got a short powder burn on a barrel. That makes sense.
100 yards. This is a 100-yard gun. The best group I ever shot was 4 inches at 100 yards.
That's pretty darn good.
That's really good. On an 18-inch gun, we accept 8 inches.
And is that 3-inch magnums, or you're sticking to 2 3/4?
2 and 3. That was low recoil, 1,300 feet.
Yeah, and a testament to the suppressor. Very few of the currently available 12-gauge suppressors can do such a short barrel length. So it makes sense that it's a very intentionally designed, very nifty and soft shooting shotgun.
Yeah,
I might have to dig into the company funds and see about getting hands on, because it's a nifty tool, and I'd be curious to do some additional testing to the stuff that you've mentioned. We're about to launch deep into the shotgun suppressor. We already have 3 on site right now. But this is something, honestly, I turned a blind eye to.
Yeah.
Initially, when you had launched it for kind of a specific purpose and it generated such an interest, it was kind of nifty, but we can't have it, so who cares? And now that we can have it, is it worth it is the next question. And that's, it seems like it has the mix-ins where it very well could be.
Yeah, we're going to make riding shotgun cool again.
Well, I super appreciate the time. Thanks for chatting with us and teaching us about your cool new product.
Awesome. Thank you.
As always, guys, stay safe, and we'll see you in the comment section. Put a comment. Don't be lazy. Also hit the like button.